Had to sneak away there for just a moment. 3-yard pickup on that play. That was a run. That's McCaffrey for 3 yards. If someone could send me a note on Slack just to make sure this broadcast is okay. Dennis just sent me a note to make sure to add myself to the broadcast. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, so I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. There's a play guessed wrong. That was a pickup of 2. So it's 3rd down and 5. So quite a little combo here. You've got Aaron Jones and McCaffrey in the backfield for the Giants. Just got a message. Let's just make sure this is right. Oh, okay. So we missed a little bit early in the broadcast. You got a chance to see it, but unfortunately I didn't add myself to this StreamYard. It's just taken a little while to learn the nuances of this program. So if you were watching and didn't see or didn't hear what had happened, Pittsburgh turned it over on downs at the 36 of the New York Giants. Had a nice drive going, but stalled in Giant territory, and now the Giants are going to go 3 and out. So that's the deep punt that Pittsburgh basically will field and sit on it there at the 11. So 2 possessions for both clubs, nothing to show for it just yet. 2 tight end set, same set we've seen for quite nearly all the snaps now so far for Pittsburgh. And there's a run for 7 yards for Damian Williams. 2nd down and 3. Now we got Fournette in the backfield. We have an I formation set here. So Ryan Griffin moves from the tight end on the left spot. He's now in the I formation. And there's a deep shot. That pass is going to fall incomplete. So it's 3rd down and 3. Looking for Gerald Everett. Covered by a 5 on that play. So the strong safety is able to make that stop. And that's rookie Juan Thornhill from Kansas City. Kind of had a down year here in his second campaign. There was another safety that took over. He was losing a lot of snaps in the second half. So now we're 3rd down and 3. And that's another deep shot, and that's a pickup of 32 yards. Guessed wrong by the defense. Pass caught by Cole Hardiman for the real-life Kansas City Chiefs, and for the second time in 2 drives, Pittsburgh has made its way to the 50-yard line. Their last drive stalled at the Giants' 36. Here's a pickup of 4 on the play for Leonard Fournette. 2nd and 6. Running clock here in the first quarter. 7:30 to go. Pittsburgh and Giants. No score. Winner goes to the Strat 28 finals. Winner of this game will take on either Los Angeles Rams or Tennessee. And there's another run. Minimal gain there. 3rd down and 3. Again, that was Leonard Fournette. He picks up 2 on the play, 3 on the play. So it's 3rd down and 3. Pretty close to where the last drive stalled for the Steelers. Let's see if they can convert this third down. Defense running their base 3-4. They've got a blitz coming, and that pass is going to fall incomplete. So another decision for Ron Martin here. If he doesn't convert on this play, the Giants are going to have excellent field position. 4th and 3 is a little bit more to think about. So he's going to go ahead and punt this one. He's going to try to pin him deep. And he does so. Great kick by Edwards. That'll drop it down to the 6, it looks like. Sure does, 6-yard line. So the Giants started their drive at their own 11. Pittsburgh started their second drive at their own 11-yard line. The Giants will start their drive at the 6. A really stout front four for the Steelers with only 1-5. The rest of these guys are 6s. There's a quick pass to Slayton. Caught, 10 yards, first down. Defense guesses run on that play. A little bit of breathing room now for the Giants. Back to the I formation again. Goes back and forth with Aaron Jones and McCaffrey with so many carries for 2 very good running backs. It's hard not to sneak a run call in there every once in a while for the defense. Here is a deep shot. That pass is going to fall incomplete. Looking for Aaron Jones. Let's see who's guarding Aaron Jones. That's Khalil Mack, covered by a 4. I didn't happen to see if he was blitzing on that play or not. So you got Khalil Mack in the middle. Joe Schobert. Oh, I see. He's guarded by 0, actually. That's Bud Dupree. I thought it was Khalil Mack. It's actually Bud Dupree who's guarding him. And there is a nice pickup for McCaffrey on the pitch. Guessed wrong. He hit that long gain 3. It's a pickup of 38 yards. And for the first time in the game, the Giants are in Pittsburgh territory with the ball to 46. 4:48 to go on a running clock. And there is a deep shot, but instead it's going to be a dump off, 13-yard pickup. And another first down for the Giants, who are driving. That pass was to Seals Jones. Now, if we look at the pass rush, their front four has a 9, a 5, a 4, and a 9. Dupree is an asterisk pass rusher. Khalil Mack is an asterisk pass rusher as well. Have to keep a little bit closer eye on when they're going to bring some heat here. And it looks like they are on this play. Defender X reading, that's a pickup of 18 for Ricky Seals-Jones. In this formation, he's guarded by a 0. And I didn't see if it looked like Dupree was rushing, so he may have caught it. Didn't really matter. It was on the defensive's card anyway, so a 5 wouldn't have stopped him. The only way it would have stopped him had he been double teamed by the middle linebacker or guarded by the free safety. I don't believe either one of them took place. Defense guesses run, but a bad break for the Giants there is it's only a pickup of 1. Second down and 9. Let's pass to Slayton. Slayton was my second round selection in the SSFA draft. There's another pass that is caught, but it doesn't go for anything, basically. That's a loss of 1 on that pass to Slayton. And that was a legitimate throw. That was not a dump. So 3rd down and 10. Pittsburgh bending. They don't want to break on this play. So if they can hold them to 3, I think they'd be very, very happy. The Giants come out 3 wide now. So they'll send out Zach Pascal from the real-life Indianapolis Colts, who is guarded by that, looks like nickel, if that's how he keeps it. Guarded by a 5. And there is a pass that is caught, and that is a touchdown in the first of the game as he finds Darius Slayton. The defender in the zone reading, and there's a 0 in that zone. That's a touchdown. So that was a flat pass, executed well. And the Giants have the first score of the game at 7-0. Steelers will take over, and will they bring it out of the end zone? And do we have this freeze problem? So I've seen this. No, he's going to take it out. Takes it out to the 27. So he made a little bit of hay there, extra 2 yards. He does have a 59-yard return on that card. Not much else on that card, so we'll see if he continues to do that. So Joe Golden goes with a 3-4. He's got a 5, a 5, and a 6 up front. He's got 4s pretty much all through the middle with a 6 middle linebacker. There's a run, guess wrong. Fournette picks up 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6. So Joe Golden has a 5 guarding Conley. He's got a 5 guarding Michael Hardeman. He's got a 5 guarding Everett. And he has a 6 that looks like he's lined up for a safety blitz. At least that's what he's called early. Doubling Hardeman on this play. That's going to be a dump off, and it'll be a pickup of 13. Aaron Rodgers for Fournette out of the backfield picks up 13. That's another first down. Here's a pitch out to Fournette, and that's going to be a big gain, a huge gain of 48 yards, and he's finally tripped up at the Giants' 8-yard line. So a 48-yard pickup. That's the second big gainer in this game. One goes to McCaffrey with a 38-yard pickup, and that's a 48-yard pickup for Fournette, who also has a 69. Just below that, his card is pretty pedestrian. But you look at your 6, 7, and 8. But if you can hit those high numbers, especially that 11 and 12, you're in business. Now, both those clubs have had that same break. And this is going to set up something nicely here for the Steelers. We've just now ended the first quarter. Giants up 7-0. This is the Strat semifinal contest. Here's a pass, and it is caught. Touchdown to Chris Conley. So Aaron Rodgers so far, 6 of 11 for 91 yards. That was Conley's first reception. So an 8-yard pickup for Conley, and we are knotted up at 7. So this is the third possession for the Giants. It took 3 possessions for Pittsburgh to score. Giants scored on their second position. Both of these drives have been highlighted by big runs, 38-yard run by McCaffrey and a 48-yard run from Leonard Fournette. Giants will take over at their own 25. Game is knotted at 7. We're just a minute into the second quarter. Tannehill under center. Here's an off-tackle run. Defense gets his pass. This is McCaffrey. He'll pick up 10 on the play. Move the chains. First down, ball to 35. McCaffrey so far, 4 carries for 51 yards. There is a quick pass. Defense calls run, so that's going to be a nice pickup on the play. For Galladay, that's his first catch, 19-yard pickup. And in a matter of a couple of plays, Giants already are in Steelers territory. Ball resting at the 46, 13:30 to go here in the second quarter. Game tied at 7. Here's a quick pass to Evans, and here is a sack. So the first sack of the game belongs to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's Bud Dupree. So now the ball rests back in Giants territory at the 48. So Aaron Jones is in the backfield, I formation. Let's see if he calls a run here to get some of those yards and make it a more manageable third down. 2 strong wideouts on the left and the right. Both are guarded by 5s. Defense calls 4-2-5 here. So he can keep Mack and Bud Dupree on the field. He'll move his extra nickel into the look-in pass. So a pickup of 7 on the play. That's on Tannehill's card. And that was to Aaron Jones. That's his first catch. So it's a little bit more manageable now. Looks he's not behind the stick. So it's 3rd and 9. The ball to 45, 3 wide set now. There's a quick pass, and that is going to be intercepted. So the Steelers collect the first turnover, and this is going to be some big news. That's going to be taken all the way back to the house. So there is a huge play. Tannehill picked off on the defensive card. And I believe that's Tremont Williams. It sure is. So Williams will take this one all the way back to the house of the Steelers. And scored 14 points here in the opening 3 minutes of the second quarter to snatch the lead away from the Giants, 14-7. That kick sails into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. So the Giants facing a 3rd and 9 at the Steelers' 45. Tannehill throws the interception. I believe there were 3 men in the zone on that play. As well, they called a 4-2-5 there and moved that extra defensive back into the looking pass zone, I believe. And there's a run that doesn't go anywhere. 2-yard pickup for McCaffrey. 2nd and 8. The ball at the 27. So 14 straight points for Pittsburgh as they have managed to take this lead away and a lot of the momentum that the Giants had. So Joe Golden facing off here against Ron Martin. Here's a pitch. Defense guesses run. That'll be a nice pickup of 12 on the play. And that was Aaron Jones. So again, alternating back and forth between two of the best backs in the NFL. You're pretty loaded if you've got McCaffrey and Aaron Jones in the backfield along with Tannehill's great card as well. And he's got 2 excellent wide receivers. I was looking at his line. Kind of hit or miss on run. There's a run up the middle that picks up 2 at 2nd down and 8. 5s and 7 across those, so pass blocking is good. There's a short pass, but instead that's going to be a dump off, and that'll pick up 8. Give him 9 there. So once again, Giants have entered into, well, they're a yard away from entering into Steelers territory with the ball here at the 50. They've been able to move the ball pretty well so far, but a devastating interception and a pick 6 has given the Steelers the lead. Giants now on the move. Just under 10 to play here in the 2nd quarter in the Strat 28 semifinal. There's a pass on Tannehill's car, but it falls incomplete. It was intended for tight end Ricky Seals-Jones. Giants now go to a 2 tight end set with McCaffrey in the backfield. There is a sideline pass. That falls incomplete, and it's now 3rd down and 10. That was intended for Slayton, whose flat pass card is not great. He does have the Giants' lone touchdown so far, on a flat pass no less, on the defensive card. Trying to pick on Bud Dupree's 0. So defense goes 3 wide. And there is a pass that is caught, but it only goes for 7 yards. And that was a dump-off pass. Caught by Galladay. So now 4th and 3 with the ball resting at the 43. Will the Giants try for this? This is 3 yards, which is a little outside of the realm of automatic. Plus, you don't make it here. Pittsburgh starts out with very good field position. They are going to go for it here. They go 3 wide. That's Christian Kirk, who has entered the game. He's guarded by a 5, which is Tramon Williams, who already has a pick 6 in this game. Does he try a draw here, maybe? You've got to, let's see, defense is going to go 3-4 here. You've got 2 zeros there, so I believe he could break contain. Let's see what we got. Maybe he he can't move his safety up, so he's got to make a decision. He can only move one guy up or risk leaving that short pass zone. That look-in pass zone. So Golden taking his time. This is a big play early on in this game. He's already trailing 14-7, and he's risking giving the Steelers good field position. There's an off-tackle run. Defense guesses run, and he is stuffed. No gain on the play. It's on the defensive card. The offensive guard is not able to make the block. And the Steelers do indeed take over with great field position at the ball at the 43. Already up 14-7. He's going to go for a deep shot, but that pass falls incomplete. Defender X reading. Defender able to make the play. Pass was intended for Griffin. I believe Griffin is defended by a 4. He is. So Kendrick's able to make the play, 2nd down and 10. So here's the play. Rodgers is able to make it with his feet. He eludes the pressure, picks up 7, so now it's 3rd down and 3 with the ball at the 50. So both of these clubs have had a little bit of a struggle converting these types of first downs, the ones that are 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards. Hey, Dan.
Hey, what's up? You should add in Zeb too. Zeb's good for
again. That's cool. I've been barely paying attention to it. Apparently they weren't able to convert there, so we got a 4th down.
Tyke doesn't look like he has a microphone. So yeah, let's get Zeb in here. What's up, Zeb?
Hey.
Hey, make it full screen too. This could be like a watch party instead of a straight broadcast.
Is that right? I think it's full screen.
Looks good. Keep doing the play-by-play though, Michael. We'll just jump in with commentary as we go.
Sure.
So, well, Zeb, tell me what happened in your game. I didn't get a chance to look at things, but it looked like a low-scoring affair.
Well, yeah, it was a lot of 3 missed field goals, and Ron stopped me on a 2, and a different time I got it down to his 1-yard line. Had 4 shots from the 1-yard line, couldn't punch it in.
Well, he seems like he's playing good defense again today.
Well, it's tough with the 3 6s up front, and then to be honest, I had a guess wrong line buck with Derrick Henry, and I rolled a 5.
Yeah, it happens.
I had a receiver guess wrong, and Seth DeValve didn't make a catch. I had chances, but just came up short. And he
Correct
had
double team by Ron there.
Good double team. Yep.
It was he had 2 big plays. Chris Conley had a 70-yard touchdown and like a 68-yard touchdown, and that was pretty much it.
Wow. So are you over it yet? This is just the psychology of Stratomatic. Like, I'm kind of over my game that Nathan beat me. I'm mostly over my game that Nathan beat me, but there's always those lingering things like I should have done this or I should have done that.
No, I'm over it. It was
fair enough.
I felt like I had chances, and you're not going to win every game.
Yeah.
I played against Ron for a long time. I remember playing. You probably remember when Vic used to have a website called Darkfather.
Yep.
And Mike Payne was setting up things called the Gauntlet, and I played against Ron with stock teams back back as far as then. And Ron is one of those guys. Like whenever you play him, you never expect to blow him out, and you hope you win.
Right, exactly. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a tough, hard-fought game. You hope that you also have the better team.
Yes.
Which I'm not sure. I didn't compare your two teams, but you guys were both up there among the best in your conference.
I mean, the Jets actually had the best record in our conference this year.
Right. I said you guys were among the best, so I think that
I feel like I had a little bit better. I was stronger with Derrick Henry at running back, and at quarterback with Mahomes versus Rodgers. But Ron is stronger. His kicking game was better, and both of his line, his defense and his offense, I think, are better ratings.
Yeah, unless like Joe's putting together a drive here with Aaron Jones and Christian McCaffrey. Those are two really good running backs.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of carries he can throw at Ron. And the one thing I would say, like, I felt like playing against Ron, he didn't want to call a lot of run.
Right, I've noticed that too.
He got this impenetrable line up front, so he doesn't really need to.
Yeah, and he can just he double teams so well that he doesn't want to give up that big pass play. Like obviously he got one over on you with Conley's long touchdown, but some people like to play to their strengths, and his is defending the pass.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the long touchdown passes to Conley was like a 68-yard long gain, and he beat Kevin King in coverage.
Oh, 6 against 5. Yeah, that's tough.
And so then when I watched the Green Bay Tampa Bay game last night, I felt that was only appropriate.
You're right. Like that, I thought that too. That pass at the end of the half is like free safety blitzing, leaving King alone on an island against a good receiver. But the 6 beat the 5.
Yeah, I don't think King's going to be a 5 next year.
Well, I mean, that was the playoff game. I haven't looked at his PFF ratings, so remember those don't count.
Yeah.
Hopefully those don't hurt him. Let me look at King. Go ahead, Michael. I'm sorry, we're interrupting the play-by-play.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, Kevin King was a 52 in coverage. So, yeah, you're probably right. He's not getting a 5 next year. So Joe's gotten it down to the 41, first and 10 after that. What was a dump off there, I think.
Yeah, putting together a good-looking drive now.
Ron's pass rush isn't as good as it was last year.
Well, there's a run call. Ron saying, "Hey, I show you guys. I can call and run when I need to."
Right.
Well, hey, let me tell you this too, Ron. I'm not going to say he stole one, but I had a potential long gain with Derrick Henry, and Ron he actually called a run key on that play.
Wow.
It could have been a long gain into a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, I always think I always have to re-examine my play calling style, because when I first started playing Strat, I would key a lot more, and I find myself not keying as much. So maybe I should get back to that. Jay's really good at keying at the right time. Obviously, Ron does too. It's a good weapon.
Well, I think it's a good weapon if used strategically.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to use it at the right time, and if you're really convinced he's going to call run, or it's a big spot where if you stop him, basically you turn the ball over, and
high leverage situation maybe.
Exactly. Yeah, the benefits have to outweigh the risks.
Well, here's a big call, 3rd and 3.
Mm-hmm. 2 minutes left in the half.
And I don't know who. Let me see who Joe's kicker is. If he's 34 is kind of marginal field goal range.
Going with the sneak. Only gets a yard. I will take.
He's setting himself up there for 2-down territory, calling a sneak.
Yeah, so his kicker is 2 through 8 out to the 32, and 2 through 6 from the 33 to the 37.
Well, I know what I do here.
He's going for it.
Yeah, I definitely go for it.
Sure.
Well, it's like if you don't go for it, it's like a 50-50 field goal chance, and your chances of picking it up are probably a little bit better than 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just running the QB sneak there on 3rd down tells me he's already thinking 2-down territory too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know that I would have called a quarterback sneak though there.
Right. Seems like a waste of a call because you're sneaking at a time when he's probably going to call run or possibly going to call run.
Oh, and he threw right at the
Wow.
6th.
Wow. No, he threw it to 5, but
I thought Ron put a 6 up there.
he moved to 5 extra DB. Steven Nelson? Yeah, I think so. No, Steven Nelson is the right cornerback. So it wasn't a man in the zone. He did throw it maybe at the 6, but it was the defender reading. Yeah. Defender +1 or +3. And the cornerback was a 5.
So there's been three stops on 4th downs already in this game.
That's right.
Two by Ron and one by Joe, or
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And Joe's were 4th and 3 and 4th and 2. Ron got stopped on a 4th and 5.
Well, that Leonard Fournette card, it's so dangerous if you land on the right number.
Yeah.
Did you see my game versus
yarder in this one? If you didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. No, but I played against this card in SOMIFA's in the SOMIFA playoffs, and he busted off a 37-yarder, I think, against me.
Good double team.
Ron told me that he's been averaging about 1 long gain a game for him. For the whole season.
That makes sense. But maybe he'll get 2 today because he's already got the 1.
Yeah.
New York has 40 more yards than Pittsburgh so far, but they're losing by a touchdown thanks to those 4th down failures, I would guess.
And a pick 6.
Oh, really? I missed that too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Tramon Williams. 3rd and 11. He stays base. Is he going to run it here, or is he going to try to – he does run it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's coughed up, but it looks like Pittsburgh's gotten it back. Joe Thuney, the man on the spot.
He won't be able to advance it, though.
Yeah, under 2 minutes. Hey, who was that guard that had the long kickoff return about 7-8 years ago for New England? Do you remember that?
I remember seeing the video on it. I just don't know who it was.
I think I had him on my strat team. I should look that up.
Well, what do you do here with 37 seconds left?
Well, I try to hit a big one on McCaffrey's card. He has a long gain also on 4, doesn't he?
He's had a 38-yarder today.
Oh, long gain on 3, +76, +84, +58 on the edges. You can get a 37 or a 40 on the other edges. So, yeah, run it. See if you can hit a number.
That's it.
Well, now is it? Now you got 12 yards. If he gets out of bounds here, you still got 2 timeouts. So now your playbook's wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Just need about 30 yards to get into field goal range. And I remember his guys 2 through 6 out to the 37. Galladay, Slayton. He stays 4-3. I don't know if I like this if I'm Ron, because you can't put 2 men in the zone deep. Down and out to McCaffrey. Cover. Oh, no coverage, and he gets 28 on McCaffrey's card.
Wow. Oh no.
Oh, it's fumble. Receiver fumble. When it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
You might as well try to run it back.
He disagreed and said no, but yeah, I agree. I would have done the same thing. I would have ran it, or would have tried to run it. So Eddie Jackson comes up behind him, strips the ball out, and Steven Nelson recovers it. So now it's Ron's turn to try to get a big hit.
That was just cruel.
You're like so excited, then you see the ball come out.
Well, I do like that it can happen on something other than a 2-yard gain.
Right,
So
and
it's never sure.
Yeah, we saw some crazy plays in the playoff games yesterday. Here's a 21-yard run. Now Ron's on the edge of field goal range.
He is. All three of his timeouts, too.
Let's look at his kicker.
Josh Lambo's pretty good. He's good out to the 39, I think.
Yeah, 2 through 6 and 12 out to the 39. So he's 5 yards away from being in field goal range.
Well, he could attempt something from here.
Yeah.
And because that variable roll could get him down to 39 even from the 44.
Sure. Yeah, and if he rolls snake eyes, no matter what, if it's adjusted or not, he's going to make it.
Yeah.
It's a big hit there, 13 yards.
Nice
Rogers
pass.
says I may have lost yesterday, but I'm not going. I don't want to lose today.
Mm-mm.
You know, Ron's got Rogers in Semifinals and S28. He's going to be a force next year.
Oh, for sure. Now he's got a timeout left. There's no reason to kick it here. Maybe he doesn't want to lose yardage on the sack. See, I would have ran one more play. Seems
Yeah, that's
almost fitting, I
interesting.
guess.
You could have run a fake there.
Yeah, but if you can turn the ball over on a fake, right? You can get a
Yeah.
fumble or a pick. You're better off running a regular play, I think. But so Joe's got to feel bad that he gave up a chance for a field goal to cut the lead out, but he's got to feel good that Ron missed the field goal.
So I missed the very beginning. Joe gets a second half kickoff, doesn't he?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Ron turned it over on downs on the opening drive.
At the 35, 38, so it was the 4th and 5 that he went for.
So pretty good game. It's what you expect when you have two really good teams and you're this far into the playoffs. And that'll be the half. Tomorrow's going to be.
Joe has got a really strong offensive team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So this is a good contrast in styles again. Good offense against really good defense.
Let's see. I'm going to take a look at the regular season game between these two because that's the beauty of S28. You always play every team in your own conference during the regular season, and the Giants defeated the Steelers 22-10 in Q4. So they played not too long ago. And in that one, Rodgers threw the only interception of the game. And the Giants had 3 fumbles and lost 1. Looked like Christian McCaffrey lost a fumble. And Fournette had a 47-yarder. Aaron Jones had a 42-yarder. So that's Ron's got to feel pretty good that he's turned it around from what happened in the regular season. And Joe's got to feel good that he's got a chance to put things right if he makes some adjustment at halftime or gets some rolls anyway.
Yeah. He's been able to move the ball. He's had 2 big turnovers.
Well, he's had, if you count turnovers on downs,
4.
he's
You're
had
right. 2 on downs and 2 picks. A pick and a fumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, the one basically you give away 7, and the other he was driving for a potential score. So he's left some.
Yeah, but then with all that, you think, look it, I'm down a touchdown, and I'm getting the ball first in the second half. That's not too bad.
Not at all.
If you can weather that kind of storm.
Not at all. That's 4 times he's been in Pittsburgh territory and had 4 turnovers, basically. So it's not for lack of moving the ball.
So you notice he's thrown a couple long passes to Aaron Jones already, Michael?
Yes.
I was just looking at the regular season. He only attempted 1 long pass all season to Jones.
Wow, that's scouting. Did you do that scouting ahead of your game? Is that what you had that fresh in mind?
No, I just looked that up right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, there's been some occasions where I think he was guarded by Dupree.
Yeah, so he can get that matchup just by going 2 tight end.
Yeah, that's it. He was guarded by Dupree on those, I noticed. And, I mean, even on the others, I mean, he's guarded by Max. So if he's...
It was a 4.
Yeah.
So that's something Ron probably should. And Ron's pretty sharp. We'll see if Ron starts paying attention to that.
I have noticed if he's been vacating his free safety. I think he's kept him home
quite a bit.
Yeah, so the 71-yard kick return was by Dan Connolly on Sunday Night Football 10 years ago. I just remember that because the recovery there was by Joe Thuney, or on one of those fumbles, who's also a Patriots guard. So.
And you had visions of him chugging 60 yards downfield.
Yeah, I was thinking he should have tried to return that thing. Let's see the big man run.
There was a couple years ago, there was a Colts linebacker that ran back. I think it was an onside kick attempt, and he picked it up and ran it back for a touchdown. And Strat actually made him the Colts' number 2 kick returner for that year and put a touchdown on his card.
Nice. That's sweet.
So if Dan Conley had run that back all the way for a touchdown, he could have been rated as a kick returner, possibly.
That would have been perfect. I had him on my team, on one of my teams then, I'm sure. I remember Dan Connolly. I remember having him, but all right, here we go. At least with your connection, Michael, that you haven't had those kick return bugs and punt return bugs that kicked you out of the game.
Not one. No.
That's been good.
What's causing that? Is it you really the connection's good, or it's just?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't think Strat does either, but it still happens in this version, but not as frequently.
Yeah.
It might be the compatibility of the machine, how powerful the host is. If they serve the video up quick enough for them to, I don't know, for the spectators to recover.
It's hard to know. Just don't question it, right? We're still in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
So we've got the free safety coming up here. He's got his linebackers aren't that strong, so he's got to do a lot of whack-a-mole to try to kind of cover up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can get picked to death with those passes to the outside linebackers, when they're a 4 and a 0.
Right.
It's a lot better when you got a 6 free safety. You can move around though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can mitigate that. Stick him in the middle, move the middle linebacker out to one of the edges.
Because his middle linebacker isn't really going to be his blitzing.
No.
His outside linebackers are the guys who he wants to bring the pressure with.
Right.
Joe's had a lot of Super Bowl losses in Battle Royale and Summer Sprint. I don't think he's broken through yet in any of the big leagues. This would be a huge thing for him to get into the Super Bowl with a chance to win it here in Strat 28.
Here's Aaron Jones. Look out for that long pass.
Mm-hmm.
So here he's covered by a 4 in this formation.
Mac. Yeah, let's see if he brings Mac.
He brought Dupree instead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Joe was in the Super Bowl in Semifinals last year.
That's right. I forgot about that.
He came one Mitchell Trubisky mistake away from winning it.
That's what I'm saying. The guys like this that keep knocking on the door, eventually they're going to kick it down.
Now, he's just brand new into Autumn Wind. Is that right?
Yeah, he came in as an expansion team.
Yeah, he'll make the playoffs this year. He's 8-6-1. He's going to get in.
Nice. I'll probably have to wind up playing him if he.
I was
maybe
looking
he
at
will.
that. Yeah, you'll be a 6th seed, but maybe a 5th.
There's that key strong defensive call there by Ron.
Mm-hmm.
So have you scheduled your last couple games yet, Michael?
I've got Green Bay Wednesday. I'm still waiting to hear from Southern California.
I got Grand Rapids on Saturday. So
Yeah, I was wondering when that game was. I've been looking every day for that game, in fact.
Saturday about 2 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay.
So here's something else I noticed Ron has been doing. He did this against me too. He's been using this nickel 4-2-5 on third downs, even against base formation.
Well, you figure if somebody tries to run those defensive tackle readings, you've you're pretty much impenetrable. Here's a pass though. If you get the D tackle rating and it's incomplete, I'll move your card image over a little bit so I can see those dancing between the rainbow shot there.
Yeah.
That works.
Another fourth down here.
So a guessed wrong pass hits a blank, and he has to punt. And Ron has the better defensive cards. That's something I haven't mentioned yet, but we're still in the, up until the Super Bowl, the home team gets the better D cards.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that I don't know if that contributed to the interception or if it was on the quarterback's card.
Well, the other thing about that 4-2-5, his extra defensive back is a 5 in coverage, which is the same as his middle linebacker.
Yeah, so in the worst case scenario, he just plops him in there in the middle.
Yeah, but then he can sit there and use him to do 2 true double teams. He can sort of play all over the place with that.
Yep, and you can even key with the free safety and still bring that extra DB up to cover the look-in zone.
And the free safety is a better run defender than the middle linebacker is.
Nice.
That's true. They're both zeros.
Well, there's a nice receiver help by Damian Williams.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of game that you don't want to go down 2 scores, so Joe's got to step up with some good defensive calls here. Puts a little too much pressure when you're down by 2 touchdowns or even 10 points in the second half of a
especially
playoff
against
game.
a good defensive team and coach.
Absolutely.
A nice double.
There you go. Just when you say he's got to step up, he steps up.
But I expect Ron to stay aggressive here. It wouldn't surprise me to see some more long passes out of him too.
Yeah, he had the long connection to Connolly, right? So got to keep an eye on him, even though he's covered by a 6.
He's hit a long one to Hardman too.
Nice.
Well, in that flat passing is not the strength of Aaron Rodgers' card this year.
Right. This is one of those years where that's where they forced his completion percentage down by leaving a lot of blanks in the flat pass card.
Yeah. And Ron is just, he's playing to that strength. The strength
There
of
you
his
go.
Another nice pickup for Conley.
I don't know if he was showing blitz there, but if he was, that would have been long gain if he went up top. Let's take a look at the Steelers pass blocking. They go 7-5, 7, 7, 5. So not only is he calling to the strength, to Aaron Rodgers' strength, he's protected him with a lot of 7 and 5 pass blockers.
Yeah. There's only been incomplete. There's only been 1 sack. Actually, the Giants line looks really close to that. Actually, it's almost the same. And there's only been 1 sack so far. Dupree.
The Giants pass rush is good on the edges with 2 asterisk pass rushers, Joey Bosa and Daniil Hunter. The nose tackle's only a 1. And the linebackers are not anything special, although you get a 6 and a 7 in the middle if you bring one of those guys. Pass rush wise, I mean.
Mm-hmm. It's a little early to say this, but this is a big conversion if they can pick this up. It would be a huge stop for the Giants here.
So this is not really an ideal down for Rodgers' card.
No, with that bad poor flat pass card, you're right.
It wouldn't surprise me to see a short or even long pass here.
Double team, nicely done on Keelan Cole. So the Giants are going to hold serve here again. That was a good job by Joe Golden. He deserved that one.
Big stop.
Mm-hmm.
Nice punt.
That one's going to sail.
Oh, just missed it.
Mm-hmm. So Pittsburgh's been dodging bullets so far. 4 turnovers total here for the Giants, 2 on downs, 1 on a fumble after a long gain, and another on a pick 6 from Tramon Williams.
Oh, he used Aaron Jones as bait that time.
Yeah, deep shot to Galladay. It's incomplete. Nothing really special on that long game. Excuse me, on that long pass card. Guessed right.
If it had been guessed wrong, he could have gone to Galladay's card, receiver reading. That would have been nice for Joe, probably.
Yeah, it's pretty juicy.
That pitch out to McCaffrey. Nothing
Goes nowhere. Yeah, Joe's offensive line, the strength is definitely the pass blocking. He's got a 6 and a 5, and then 2 4s and a 0 for run blocking.
Going 4 wide instead of.
It's the first time we've seen that. Mm-hmm.
And look at that. Ron's got 5s everywhere with a 6 and a 5 as extra DB and free safety. That's pretty good when your second DB is a 5.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But Tannehill has a really strong card. So if you're Joe, that shouldn't stop you from trying to pick this up with a short pass.
Right.
Oh, he goes for the draw.
That's not what I was expecting.
Nice.
Would have been 5 had it not been that white die 1.
Yeah, and an 8 on Tannehill's card got to be. It's probably incomplete unless it's a must run. Nice long punt. Let's see what Tavon Austin can do.
Mm-hmm.
I always feel, a little worried when I'm behind and facing a card like Fournette because it's just like a ticking time bomb before he hits that long gain again.
Right.
Oh, he gives him a break, brings in Damian Williams.
Yeah. Well, Williams has a 91 on his card, though.
Right.
Oh, wow. Forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a long gain on 2 and an 84 on 2 on the end run. So, yeah, just a different style of time bomb now.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave it to you. Going to go do some family things, so I'll talk to you later.
All right, man.
Okay. Night, Dennis.
Take
See
care.
you, Dennis.
There's still a lot of time left in this one, Michael.
Oh, yeah. You just get the feeling, though, if they can get one more score on the board.
Just sit back and
Yeah.
on that defense.
Mm-hmm.
Joe's been showing blitz pretty aggressively here in the second half.
Okay.
A lot more than in the first half, I think. I didn't really notice that he was doing that much in the first half.
Mm-mm. He's doing it again here. Oh, and he hit it. He hit the scope, didn't he?
He did.
Sure did. He absolutely hit the scope.
Oh, and Joe didn't even bring the blitz.
Oh, I thought he did.
Well, he showed it, but he didn't bring it.
He just moved the safety into like another zone?
Well, that's what it looks like. There was no pass rush opportunity there at all.
Mm.
A 2-yard loss for Fournette.
Yep.
2nd and 12 here. Showing blitz again.
Another off tackle draw. Oh, that's a big pickup. It's good enough for first down. No, he stopped him 1 yard short. You're right.
Because he lost yardage on first.
And I was going to say, I saw that Walton card in the backfield. He had a quirky card in the previous card set. He was just a low usage running back, I think, for the Bengals, but he had a weird linebacker off tackle run where he would basically had a high percentage of 2-yard gains guessed right. But,
a good short yardage back.
That was it, yeah. But it was just one of those weird, quirky at the bottom of the pile cards. It's like, oh, look what this guy can do. So I guess there's no decision here.
Well, I guess when you got a defense like Ron does, and they're playing as well as they are.
Yeah, that's pretty frustrating, though, to get that sniper scope and then to settle for 3. But 3 points is 3 points.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, and a terrible kick return. My goodness.
That's on Ron's. That's on his special teams defense.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
But I remember that because I made a note to myself before I played Ron. I wasn't running anything out of the end zone.
Do not take anything back. That's right.
But Joe didn't have a choice there. That was like that one that bounced back
kick.
from the goal line.
Joe's got to be banking on one more big run from McCaffrey.
Well, he's got a lot of carries still sitting there. I would start mixing Aaron Jones in a little bit. Maybe.
Defense guesses run. Something good could come up here. Oh, no, bad break. 3 men in the zone. It's that interception reading. So it's 3rd down and 5. Joe had him there.
And that
Just
one
didn't roll.
And that one's a 12-yard gain, except that Ron is using a good pass defense card.
Oh, that's true.
So that's the difference between those cards isn't very big.
Mm-hmm.
But just one play like that.
One play. That's right.
This is kind of an interesting formation. Why are you doing 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs here?
That is a good question. From a matchup perspective, I don't see an advantage there. I mean, McCaffrey's guarded by a 4 instead of a 0. I don't know. He's gone to McCaffrey, and so I'm going to pick up 2. It didn't really matter.
So what do you do here?
Oh, you kick this away. I don't think there's any question. And hope for a muffed punt return. Well, I still believe in this Giants offense here. So I think even if Pittsburgh winds up with 3, I think there's still a chance. But it just depends on how much time they're going to grind off the clock doing it.
Yep. Well, especially with Leonard Fournette, I see he's got Williams in now, but Fournette can get you a 3 and out really quick too if he doesn't get a good roll. Well,
Yep.
Open it up.
Must run another pick up a 7. That's Rodgers' 2nd. Must run 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, that would have only been 1 yard if it was Lamar Jackson.
Well, gosh, that's surprising.
Lamar Jackson his must-run card is so funny because it's 10 yards or more all the way down to 7, and then it just drops off a cliff. And here we go, showing blitz again. I like that long pass call on 1st down, though.
Yep.
check and see if Joe is going to get too aggressive. And just put the nail in the coffin if you catch the defense getting too eager to stop the run.
Yep. It was a quick out, incomplete.
Guessed right.
Let's see what Golden's going to dial up here.
Yeah, it's tough against this team because a lot of teams you got a 3-4 defense. You sit there and you call run, and then you plug 2 of the flat zones. But yeah, that's not that flat passing isn't really the strength of this offense.
Right.
I think you probably have to do something a little different here.
Got that blitz coming again.
See, I don't think I would show blitz on a 3rd and 3.
Not sure I would either. Defense gets run on that play.
They did.
They sure did. So move the chains.
And he didn't go with the flat pass. He did go with that short pass.
Yeah, sure did.
That's a lot kind of like Russell Wilson or Lamar Jackson. You guess him right, and Rodgers has still got those must runs, which have a good chance of getting 3 yards as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a better call for the offense than flat passes. Oh, boy.
Wow. So that's the end of the third. Pittsburgh looking really good now, 17-7. Best the Giants can do right now is hope they can hold them to a field goal and keep this thing to 2 scores.
Yeah. Pittsburgh is very, very good at taking care of the ball, too.
Mm-hmm.
Fournette is minimum fumble. Rodgers is minimum fumble. Although Rodgers right here at a snap, he rolled a 5 on his snap fumble, which for some guys would have been a fumble.
Let's see, 2nd and 12.
And Rodgers' interception chances are so small, too. Like you really,
Yeah. I mean, you got to earn it to get him off the field now. It's not going to be a fluky turnover.
Yeah. Well, it would be fluky if he got a turnover.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a double.
Double, and he caught it anyway. Williams guessed right is not great. Fournette guessed right is not great. His line is not great unless they go to the left over that tackle. I think Rodgers peak here.
I'm just looking at the stats. Rodgers is only 50% passing for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Sure feels like he's doing better than that.
It does. Well, 245. I say Rodgers calls his own number here.
We'll see, Tony Romo.
Up the middle, not a sweep. Oh, he gets run. Oh, and he caught a break. So that's the second time he's had a 3rd down and 1 and opted to pass. You know, have to settle for a field goal again. So, I mean, the door is still open now.
Yep. There's times where you might be better to run it, even though you're going to be guessed right.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to get 1 yard.
Yep.
Instead of trying to get a guessed wrong play.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't
Yeah,
run it back.
you kick yourself. You're a genius if you pull that off, but you kick yourself when you don't. You think anybody could have lurched forward and gotten a yard. But it was on the defensive card, so who knows what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
So the door's open. Still only a 2-score game.
It's open, but he's got to start doing something now.
They got to show something now, no question.
Got Aaron Jones in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a threat either way.
There you go. Let's look at that card. He doesn't have that long gain.
No, he's got one. He's got one at the Snake Eyes.
Yes, he does. I think McCaffrey's been on 3 or 4. I think McCaffrey's is on a 4.
Yeah, McCaffrey's got better chance at the long gain. Jones is probably a little bit more, a few more short gains. And Jones has got 20 carries left. McCaffrey's getting used up. A nice play there by Clinton Dix. That's not really a very good roll for Joe, no matter what.
Not at all.
Best case is only 3 yards.
I mean, it's so tempting to pick on those outside linebackers, too. Just not been able to take advantage of it. There's a nice pickup. So it's 3rd and 5. And I think at this point, this would be 4-down territory.
Well, I hope he doesn't run a quarterback sneak here.
No, I don't see that happening twice.
But I don't have a problem with a running play. See, Ron's going to that nickel again. So now he can have a non-zero playing middle linebacker for run contain purposes.
I think he calls run here. Defense.
Now, in a closer game, I might.
Yep.
Well, here that'd be pretty ballsy, just because
I agree.
you want to protect that. You don't want to give Joe anything easy.
Mm-hmm.
But you could. So he showed blitz. Whew.
Little dump off there.
Yeah, the only reason he got that is because Ron brought McCaffrey's man. Switched that to a guess wrong receiver reading.
Yep, you're right. He would have lost 3 on the play, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he deserves a break. So, again, 2 scores, but things are looking up for him here just a little bit. Ball to 50, running clock, 10:48 to go, 22-7. Giants trailing. Here's your deep shot. That's going to fall to the turf.
Well, Joe's team looks like he's in pretty good shape for next year too. I mean, with Ryan Tannehill having another solid season.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to have McCaffrey next year, but Aaron Jones is going to be solid again too.
Sure. No, Galladay was hurt this year, wasn't he?
Yeah, he is going to miss Galladay.
Nice double team there. 3rd down and 10. Good call, Ronnie.
He's got Zach Pascal on the roster, and Pascal is no Kenny Galladay, but he can probably he's probably be usable next year as a starting receiver.
Yeah, he'll be your. Well, Crowder actually was pretty decent this year for the Jets, actually.
Yes, I mean he's got three playable receivers still.
Yeah, and Slayton actually, his numbers were pretty similar to what they were last year, and they gave him a 6 deep. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again. And he's in New York. Hey, there's a conversion, big. He's in New York, and you know how Stratomatic loves those New York players. That's why I picked him in SSFA.
Well, he's also got he's got a good average per catch too. So those guys
Yes, he does. Yeah, he does. I mean, that's a reach. I think he was like a 5th round pick, but my goal in SSFA, I wanted a running back. I got Sanders, and I needed I've never had a wide receiver that could go deep. It's always been Allen and Landry. I just wanted one deep threat. I got what I needed.
You guys just had the draft.
Yes, we did.
What team do you have in SSFA?
I've never made the playoffs with the team. They started out as Buffalo, and I moved them to Cleveland in year 2, and they've just never made the playoffs.
I was looking at the draft results, just sort of comparing who was up and down from the Semifinals.
Oh, it's so fun! It's so different.
It is, but I don't know because I'm not in the league. I don't know who's got what team for sure.
Yeah.
So that was an incomplete dump off there.
And
but he makes it back anyways.
Short gain. There you go.
Nice rumble up the middle. You can't go wrong with a line, Buck.
McCaffrey just went over 100 yards on that carry, so Giants looking good here.
Got 10 carries left.
Finish the job.
Yeah, because he's got to punch it in.
No doubt. It
won't be pulling
Oh gosh, no, please. It's so embarrassing. I'm not a Twitter guy at all. I can't stand social media, to be honest with you. But I do have a Twitter feed, and I tweeted, I said, hey, NFL reporters, don't ask him why he didn't go for it on 4th down. Ask him this question. If he'd have gone for it on 4th down and he'd made the touchdown, would he have gone for 2 and tied the game, or would he figure out, I'll get points later? I just want to make sure that the staff understands how math works. That's the most insane thing. Joe texted me today, my brother, and said that he thought he'd find 2 points out somewhere, some other way. I was like, dude, that mathematically, that makes no sense, what he said. That Joe said it, my brother said it was like cowardly. I'm like, no, that's not cowardly. It's just not intelligent. Even if they don't make it there, they're still pinned back at the 10. They may get one more possession, but you're going to get the ball back with like 0 timeouts, whether they kick the field goal or they don't get that touchdown on the conversion. It makes literally no sense, and there's no other way to deny it. There's 10. It's not just the head coach; it's 10 other coaches who don't know what they're doing.
Big play here.
Who picked that up? It was McCaffrey again. He's starting to heat up. Yes. So they got 4 cracks at it. Now let's see if they get cute or if they just try to punch this thing through.
Hey, I tried to punch it through on Sunday against Ron from the 1, and he stopped me 4 times.
So is Aaron Jones a 4-rated run blocker? Can he play fullback in this format?
No, I believe this is an illegal set. We'll see if Ron notices it and says anything.
Can he run from here? You can't run that, can you?
You could.
Not Jones, right?
Well, the game would let you, but it would be a violation of league rules because it's an illegal formation.
I'm not going to say anything. That's up to Ron to notice. Ron's smarter than I am.
Yep.
But can the fullback carry from here? Jones could actually carry? Okay.
Yeah. I'll get a 4. The 4 reading there is a 5 is not what you want in this situation.
No.
Oh, he's got a good open zone and guess wrong.
Oh.
Trey Turner again whiffs on a block.
Two shots at it here from the 1.
So you see, if he'd been in the full house, Trey Turner would have made that block.
He would have been upgraded. You're right.
And now he's in the full house. Would he throw it here?
No, this is the more appropriate lineup anyway. I don't know why he wasn't running this to begin with. That's a weird I don't know. Well, whatever. Defense guesses run, doesn't matter. McCaffrey punches it in. Let's see if he cuts it to 6. I had an autumn wind game this year where I was playing a team. At the time, I was 12-1 and playing a divisional opponent who was 9-3, maybe, or 8-4, and came all the way back, scored a touchdown with 8 seconds left to go, 24-23, missed the extra point. There you go. That's how a game ends. But at the same time, 8 seconds left, I had an 81-yard touchdown pass to Brashad Perriman to preserve a 8-0 first quarter. So, I mean, I'm not complaining. I've been the luckiest man in the universe with that team. I've got Mahomes in the league, and in 12 games, up to 12 games, he had 20 touchdown passes, 22 touchdown passes, 1 interception. And that pick was an accident. I had the ball inside the 20 and was thrown to my blocking back, Gesicki, and accidentally punched in long pass zone. Didn't mean to. I just was going to throw a short pass, and it wound up going long pass zone.
2 men in the zone.
2 men in the zone. I was like, what the heck just happened here? I couldn't believe what I had just seen, but it was my mistake. That's the best team I've had in any. I've been in Strat 28, SSFA, Semifinals now for a couple seasons, Autumn Wind, and SFFDL. And 12-2 is the best start I've ever gotten off to in any season. Mahomes makes up for really bad coaching, really poor coaching. So
we got a big down coming up here for Joe.
It is. This is enormous. And the Giants have done a really good job of actually stopping them here on third down. This offense isn't exactly built for it. His receivers are just so. But Conley's pretty good. I think he's a 5. I think he's a 5 in the short pass. So
would you throw long here? Oh no.
Yes, he would. And oh no, he didn't. All right, there's your pick. With 0 men in the zone, what a terrible break.
Oh, that's just like Tom Brady the other day. Long pass is as good as a punt, right?
Yeah.
Not quite. Not
quite now. No, gosh, no. Wow, boy, this game has turned around on a dime.
And that's with the average pass defense. Nice play by Troy Hill.
5, I believe. Of course, I guess there it didn't matter.
And you don't expect, Rogers doesn't throw that many interceptions either.
Oh, boy, you're doing things right now. You hit a 14 on Seals Jones. He's got a long gain on 12.
I almost took Seals Jones a couple years ago.
Yeah?
I was right on the fence. I took Jonnu Smith instead of Seals Jones, and Joe took Seals Jones like 2 picks later. Or maybe 1 pick later.
Was he even in the league this year? I never heard his name mentioned once.
I haven't followed him since he's not on my team now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that Jonnu Smith had a pretty decent season.
Yeah.
Heard his name called in highlights, so. Wow, this game is spiraling now. 2nd down and 1, ball at the 19, running clock, 3 minutes to go.
2nd and 1, your playbook is open here except for the
wide open. Except when you go full house and you try a pass, unless you're going to throw a short pass here, your safety is going to float into any zone that you're going to throw. So you got to be careful about that.
Well, you got the wrong run call there. And he got the worst possible short gain.
Yeah, boy. So Pittsburgh, rightly so, they're going to start calling timeouts here to preserve clock. So they've got 2 goals here. They've got 4 downs to stop the Giants from tying this game and potentially taking the lead and trying to preserve as much clock as he can.
Joe's probably checking to see if he can take a knee right here and get back out to the 10-yard line.
That's right.
He can't yet because it's not inside of the 2 minutes.
Very good. You're right. And kill a little clock, or at least take away a timeout along the way.
So Seals Jones basically didn't play this NFL season.
I wondered if he opted out.
No, I think he's technically on the Chiefs.
Defense guesses pass. That's to Galladay. It's incomplete.
And see, Foreman in zone, so he didn't even get a chance at the receive. Didn't even get to look at that receiver card.
Mm-mm. All right, 1 down, 3 to go for Ron Martin.
Oh, going to the nickel, showing blitz. No, if you're going to mix a run in, this might be the down to do it.
Mm-hmm. Sweet, maybe.
Oh, Ron guessed run, but he didn't get the zone.
Oh, wow.
There's those 6 defenders coming up.
Here it is. That's right. Don't have to worry about a call there. You've got the personnel.
That's interesting. Ron takes a timeout. That's a tough spot for him.
Oh, no, he's taking 2 timeouts in a row. He's doing exactly the right thing.
Well, except if he stops him, though, then
you got to get a first down. You got to get a first down.
Or Joe can get the ball back again.
Right.
That's just how much you depend on your defense here.
Oh, I'm doing this every time. I agree with him 100%.
Can Tannehill end run?
I don't think so. Let's see. No.
Nope. Okay. It's McCaffrey or nothing. I don't know if I would.
I think he throws a double here at Slayton.
Good call.
Incomplete. So, wow. Joe Golden comes all this way. Gets terrific field position, and his drive is stalling right here at the 7. And what you're saying is true now, because Pittsburgh has burnt their timeouts, and if by chance the Giants aren't able to convert it here from 7 yards out, they will be obligated to get
at least 1 first down.
Right, exactly. Now they won't have to worry about that 2-minute warning timeout, so they'll get to burn all the Giants' timeouts. But
yeah,
you know what? Let's just concentrate on this play first. That's what matters.
So I like the 4 wide here.
You like the 4 wide. Now, do they lose some pass blocking on this play because of that? They lose a bond, don't they?
Yeah, but it makes it. Oh, he's double teaming 2 guys.
Oh, wow.
Stop. That was a good double team too.
He sure was. All right.
So now it's Joe's turn on defense.
Can he grind out 1 first down? I'm throwing on this first down and just saying, let's just get this thing over with. Well, no, probably won't do it here. I mean, it's possible, but you don't throw. If you're in this formation, you don't throw a flat pass.
Nope, it's going to be a short pass.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Or run.
So you double Conley with one of your linebackers, move that other line. Well, no, what I'm doing and what they're doing are different. I'm not in the playoffs. Let them figure out what they're going to do.
I don't think I'm calling pass if I'm on defense.
No, I'm not at all. Sneak to Rodgers, pick up 1. That's just going to burn a timeout. Defense gets pass on that play. Why?
No,
Why not?
They guess run.
Oh, they did guess run.
Well, I'm not sure I would be showing blitz here though. Unless you're really going to call pass. I don't want to give you an automatic long gain on a receiver roll. He did call pass.
He didn't get hurt, luckily.
3rd and 5. Oh, see, this is where you'd love to have a Nick Foles or Marcus Mariota quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Brees.
Then you put in A.J. McCarron. Comes trotting in off the bench to throw the one flat pass of his life, kind of like Chad Henne.
And then you hope it doesn't go to overtime. Well, this is now he's not in a full house, so you've got to play it a little bit more straight up on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Has he got any 0-rated linebackers to run at? Oh, he's throwing short.
And it was guessed right too. Wow, that's gonna be your ball game. Rodgers are going to finish up this game 14-29 for 259 yards. That was Fournette on the catch.
Sub 50%, but that was a big one right there.
Yes, it was.
And Joe's got the edge in first downs, got the edge in yardage.
Yeah, I think you take yardage over completion percentage. He had only one interception. It was that interception that basically almost put the Giants back in the game, but the drive stalled inside the 10. So shut that down and shut that down. Take some knees and get out of here.
On to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
For the 2nd year in a row.
How about that? Did he win it last year?
No.
Who'd he play?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Let's look at some stats here real quick.
But he came close last year. He had a good team last year too.
Yeah.
I think his defense was even better last year.
It's fun. Offensively, this club looks so challenged, but defense is a calling card.
Well, last year he had Phillip Rivers at quarterback too, and he made a big trade for Aaron Rodgers this season.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's
trading away his first round pick and a whole bunch of other pieces.
Wow, that's an aggressive trade. Not knowing how much longer that guy's going to play, and he's going to be rewarded for it.
Yeah, well, and if you had to pick one, I think you know that Rodgers was going to play longer than Phillip Rivers. Rodgers was making some kind of funny comments at the end of the Tampa Bay game, like he doesn't know what his future holds.
I think Green Bay's turning the page. I think they're figuring it's time to go ahead and they made a draft. They drafted Love. It's time to give him a shot. At some point, you've got to be able to cut the cord, and that's what they're going to do. I mean, at least it's not like New England basically letting Brady go and having no plan. At least there is a plan with this team moving forward. The teams always have that tough transition when you got Grandpa quarterbacking your team, but you don't have anybody to give the ball to. New Orleans looks like they may have somebody they can hand it off to. He'll never be Breeze, but at least it'll be a good transition.
Yeah.
And Green Bay has a safety net now. We've never seen Love throw a single ball, but there must have been something they really liked in him to make that kind of a pick.
Well, maybe New England's plan is to pick up Aaron Rodgers.
I was thinking the same thing last night. I wouldn't at all be surprised. They're short a lot of pieces though. They don't have but you know what? Green Bay's just got a great running back. Their wide receivers are just no, Adams is a pretty good wide out too.
Yeah.
Yeah. New England doesn't have the pieces that Green Bay does. I don't know. Rodgers needs freedom. I don't know if he needs somebody basically breathing down his neck like Belichick.
Yeah. I mean, I think they'd be crazy to move on from him. They had a great year with him. I think that he looked more comfortable in that offense this year. But I guess
if he didn't feel loved and he wanted to go someplace, he should think about Indianapolis. That team's got a lot of great pieces. They got a great defense. They've got good pieces on offense too. It could very easily make a move. Just like there's plenty of teams that'd be happy to have him. So I don't know what he's crying about. It's hard to say. I think he's a head case half the time. And if Green Bay wants to turn the page, just go. Just go. Do what you did to Favre. It looks like you've got another plan here in place where you've got a good rookie quarterback. Or just sign him to like a 1-year deal. Maybe that's what they're not interested in. Maybe they're not interested in signing him beyond 1 year. Maybe they've already been talking to him about extending him, and he wants more security, and he wants several years. I think there'd be plenty of teams that would line up for that.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a lot of transition in the NFL overall this year.
Oh, yeah.
At the quarterback position with Deshaun Watson, Matthew Stafford, both wanting to go. Phillip Rivers retiring, possibly Drew Brees retiring.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Newton isn't nearly at the level of those guys, but he's going to wind up someplace.
Yeah, it's time to get bummed, everybody. Football's leaving here in just another 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
What in the world? We got to watch NBA? Are you kidding me? Nobody cares about college basketball anymore and baseball. Forget it, man.
It was actually kind of fun to watch the last couple playoff games in the NFL because there were fans in the stands.
It was. It made a difference. It did make a difference. And hopefully we get this somewhat of the pandemic behind us once we start, getting this rollout out as far as immunization is concerned. I think it's going to be a much different. It's amazing to me they put together the season that they did, considering.
Yes.
Really is. Only a couple teams really got the bug. Tennessee and Pittsburgh was bitten because of it. But for the most part, it didn't really wreck the season hardly at all.
And the Browns had the one game where their coach couldn't show up.
Yeah. Tennessee seemed to be the one that was in a bit of – Baltimore had a little bit of trouble later on too. So, no, but all in all, I'm glad it was a good distraction for the year. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And we'll get good Strat cards as a result of it. So, or at least some of us will, unless we had people opt out. So,
well, congratulations.
To be able to bring back our 2019 cards. I don't know, that's just my opinion, but whatever. Eddie Goldman sat out. That's not fair. Where am I going to get another 5 nose tackle? You're digging around for that and butcher my autumn win team? Forget it, man. It's ridiculous. I say we have a combined year, 19 and 20. Nobody wants to listen to me. This was fun. Thank you for coming on board, man.
Well, thanks for bringing me in.
We'll do it tomorrow. We'll do the same thing tomorrow.
There.
Yeah, come back tomorrow. We'll do it again. I like this way better than calling a game. It's more fun.
Well, I'm not going to – I think I'm going to have to work tomorrow, but if I get the day off, I will.
Well, then we'll let Dennis – you know what? Maybe Tom Cook will be there, and then nobody will get a word in edgewise. Let him come do it. He's so polished at this. I tell you, I've been outside working on lawns, mowing lawns, working around the house. And I guess that defines how little of life I have. But I'll go back and listen to some of his old playoff games because it's so fun to listen to. He really is very engaging when he does this. He knows these cards like the back of his hand, and it's like I can't see very well to begin with, so I'm struggling to see the screen and struggling to see the cards. I mean, what you're seeing on your side maybe is different from what I'm seeing, but I just don't have the resolution on it. I've got it up so big that I can barely even fit everything on one screen. And these guys
I can actually see that on your StreamYard.
Yes.
You got it zoomed in there.
Right. So I've got to move the cards every different direction. And so, no, I've got a nice size laptop, but my eyes are just terrible. And so I've got this thing blown up like huge for me to play, not to broadcast the game. Right. So, but like Tom, gosh, he just knows every player and every number and knows the cards before. He didn't even have to have the cards open. I think he already knows the cards by heart. He just does such a good job with this. It's fun, but it's fun. It's fun to keep this stuff in posterity anyway. Hey, I'm making the playoffs in autumn wind. I get playoff games to listen to. That'll be fun, especially if I lose, to listen to them again and again and again. Embarrass myself. Have my parents listen live. That's nice.
Have you ever seen the game that Dennis broadcast while he was playing?
I've seen him do that. I've seen him do like some stream of consciousness stuff, basically.
He did one playoff game against me, and I didn't realize he was doing it at the time. And it may be the single best broadcast I've ever seen, I think, just because it sort of showed like the thought process as you're coaching.
He does that, and that's how I've learned how to play this game. Honestly, is watching his videos and watching Tom's videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think Dennis's would be like ideal for somebody who hasn't played before.
100%. He does videos on that. I've seen him do videos. Like there's some new coaches that are here in Autumn Wind. Like I remember the first game I played in SSFA, and he broadcast with me. It was very encouraging. Now here, you don't want to do this because you remember you're putting him in the wrong zone, or you're calling run, but you're putting him in the pass blitz zone. You want to move him over here. I've had Tom broadcast games of mine in throwback leagues and call me afterward for like an hour and talk to me about, look, I like what you did here, but you're not using your personnel right. You're running guys who have high fumble numbers. You've got to start paying attention to this kind of stuff. And it's just, it's really encouraging. Both those two have been just so very generous with their time. And it's a fun hobby. And there's just all sorts of good people across the country I've gotten to meet doing this. It's been fun. A lot of fun. Really a lot of fun.
Well, cool. Have fun with Mahomes and Autumn Wind.
We'll find out. Now, Tom doesn't like that league. He thinks it's a sissy league because it doesn't have the dump off rule. It's like playing Stratomatic football in the 70s. He can't stand it. So he thinks my 12-2 is a joke because I don't have to move my players anywhere, basically. I just sit there and do nothing and let the cards do the talking. He always makes fun of that. He also is the same guy that basically I was getting ready to get Trubinsky, and he lectured me for an hour on how stupid that was and how I should get Mahomes. And so now that I have him, basically, I think he thinks I owe him like a Stratomatic gift card every year. He's so great. I'd tell you, I just think the world of both those two. I really do.
You were thinking about taking Trubisky over Mahomes at one point?
Well, yeah, because I mean, I'd have to sit for like
Trubisky
another
had a card
year.
the first year, right?
What's that?
Trubisky had a card the first year, and Mahomes didn't, right?
So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so I have to basically go through the mental anguish / torture of having Bryce Petty under center for one more year.
Right.
After he threw 11 touchdowns and threw 40 interceptions in Autumn Wind, 40 of them, count them all. And I thought, I've got to do this again. Why am I torturing now? And he's like, who do you think is going to be the best quarterback between the two? And I'm like, well, I mean, everybody's saying that Mahomes got a rocket arm and seems like he's got a lot of arm talent. I think he'd be the way to go. But yeah, I've heard good things about it. He'd like cut me off. You can't do this. You have to make the pick. And even if you have to suffer for another year as a result of it, he's been one that has done a good job of making me think about, you got to look at the talent that you have on your team. You have to do a better job of assessing talent.
Having a realistic picture of what your team is.
Right. That's exactly right. I've looked at these SSFA teams and think, well, they look pretty good. I mean, this is a better team than what NFL teams got. I got better wideouts than what most teams have. My quarterback's decent. But then, you got to think, you're in a 24-team league. You're not in a 30-team league. And so there's going to be some other juggernauts here. You don't have enough pass rush. You don't have this. He's made me look at things more objectively, and not to tank for seasons, not at all. But you just have to have, you either go for it or you don't. You're either going for it or you're building. There's no joy in going 8-8 or 7-9. Or scraping by making the playoffs at 9-7 if your club is directionless. Mm-hmm. You're either going for it or you're not, or you're rebuilding. And so I've got different teams in different leagues where some of them are rebuilding. Like, for example, this last year, like this league here, I knew this team was going to be terrible. I drafted Andrew Luck. And so, boom, card gone by. So I've got a choice the last year. Do I just go ahead and dump him and start over? I thought, no, I'll just go a season. Let's just see what happens. Now I have no quarterback. But before the year, I dealt for Josh Allen.
Oh, yeah.
And didn't give up the first-round draft pick this year. I got rid of the first-round draft pick for next year and got Miles Sanders as well. This team it's coming along just fine. But it's gonna take a little bit. But at least, I Look, I could have gone another year and grabbed like a 50 minimum quarterback, blah blah blah, and gone 0-16, and taken a shot at one of the three good or two of the three, I guess, good quarterbacks this year. But I just took a flyer on Josh Allen, just got lucky.
Yeah,
I got lucky. So, but I'm understanding now. It's either you're either like this year in SSFA, I got real aggressive and made a lot of trades. My team's going to look like a little bit like Ron's, actually. It's real stout up front with all 3 6s and a 3-4. Got Shaq Barrett on one side. My secondary's all 5 and 6s. Got Dak Prescott. Got 3 good wideouts, and with Sanders, and I'll play Zeke Elliott as a fullback this year. So I'll go with Elliott and Sanders in the backfield.
That's solid.
And I've got 3 7s on the line too. So I've got like flat pass palooza basically, or dump off passes too, to 2 pretty decent backs out of the backfield. So yeah, it'll be fun. That'll be fun. I haven't had a competitive team in SSFA for 5 years. This will be the first time that I have one that might actually have a chance to make the playoffs. So
back to Autumn, how come you didn't take Deshaun Watson?
So let's see. I'm trying to think in the records that I had. How did I go about getting who I did? Deshaun Watson.
Did you have the number 2 pick or the number 1 pick?
So in the year that I took Mahomes, I had the number 4 pick, and I traded a little bit of stuff to somebody for the number 3. That guy. No, I was going to say, but that was Dave Will. I don't think he took Trubinsky. He had no interest in taking Mahomes. And Tom told me that Dave Will would deal, and I just gave him like a 4th and a 5th just to move up a spot.
So Mahomes, he wasn't number 1 or number 2 even.
Who, Mahomes? No, he was not.
Oh wow.
He was number 3, and I think Watson, wouldn't he have been the first pick that year?
Probably, because he had a card that year.
Let's see, who was the second pick that year? Who would the second pick have been? I got it mixed up. I was thinking Barkley, but that's the year before Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Who was that number 1 pick?
I'm sure the number 1 pick was Watson.
The 2, I'm sorry. Yeah, but mine was 3rd. Okay. So I guess number 2 didn't need a quarterback.
Yeah.
And again, you were picking a guy who wasn't going to play.
Right. Well, in a way that helps you, though. So how did Bryce Petty do for you in your second year?
Oh, gosh, it was worse. But I had more fun playing that year. I actually won 5 games with him and lost 11. But I coached every game like my life depended on it. I did. It's easy to look at a team like that. I mean, there were games that I remember this distinctly, beating a team that I didn't spring an upset on a club that would win 11 or 12 because my defense was not real great either. I didn't make a lot of moves, but that year I got him, and I think I picked Marlon Humphrey in the second round. Mm-hmm. I was real tickled with that. That worked out well.
Yeah.
But no, that team was terrible. But I mean, I pulled out all the stops. I was doing all sorts of crazy stuff, like fake punts on 4th down and end run reverses, and I didn't have enough carries for the guys that I had. I had Adrian Peterson, but he had just come back from playing with Arizona, and he was a limited carry running back. I think Petty had like 10 carries a game, and I ran him 10 times. There were end runs that I did because I just didn't have enough carries from anybody else. I wasn't interested in making any trades because there was no way this team was going to win. I'm not tanking because I won 5 games. Right. This team shouldn't have won 5 games. They should have won 2, but I got lucky on a few games and basically beat some team. And it's funny because like the teams I'm beating, all I'm doing is helping their draft position. I'm not helping myself in any way, shape, or form. But no, so I waited a year for him. I wrote a very touching letter of gratitude to Bryce Petty that I posted on the Strat Fam forum and thanking him for his 2 years of service. I did. I need to get a life. Let's just be honest here. I think this is a cry for help. But no, it's been fun, and I think this team's going to get. Like I said, it's going to get better and better. I love Marlon Humphrey. I got Joey Bosa over there. We got Josh Allen, who had a down season, but he should be bouncing back. Got Bradley Chubb. It's young. There's some good talent. Calvin Ridley. I love Calvin Ridley. Well,
it makes watching the real NFL games more fun, doesn't it?
It's 10 times more fun than fantasy football ever was.
Yeah.
ever was. It's just so funny. You're sitting there watching, you like keep hearing all this good stuff about Gesicki. It's like, man, come on, man. I'm giving you like 3 yards. Hey, thanks, man. You're not helping my per carry average in Strat at all. He's like, what? What is Stratomatic? It doesn't even matter. But it's important to us. Like when you get like in the 5th round of the draft this year, I traded a player. I had a 4.0 secondary guy. Hey, does anybody need like a spare part? We actually did a live chat for the draft. We had so much fun with this. The autumn wind draft is split into 2 days, basically rounds 1 through 5 on a Saturday. 2 weeks from then, you get the benefit of seeing one game, and the rest of it, well, if there was a preseason, you get the benefit of that. But you get like a preseason, and then you get like one game, and then we'll have draft rounds 6 through 10. So sometimes the 6th round picks are actually more valuable than the 5th round picks.
Right.
Because you actually get the benefit of seeing some players. And no, I 5th round, I had this guy, extra player here. Somebody want this, and it was the Oakland coach. Yeah, I could use that. Yeah, I'll give you a 5th rounder for it. Okay, no big deal. No. I was sitting there scouting this. I was like, boy, I sure could use a wide receiver here. I wonder if there's like somebody I could pick off the scrap heap. And so I was watching a lot of videos about this guy out of Atlanta who was emerging as a good third wideout, and it was Russell Gage. And so you just pick up this goofy pick that the guy winds up getting like 72 catches this year. And you're following this really closely. You watch like the first game, he gets like your 4th round pick, Benny Snell, rushes for 150 yards in his first game because of injury. Oh my gosh, he's going to get like 1,800 yards this year. I was so smart. I was so much smarter than the rest of those autumn wind draftees. What did they know, right? That's all the videos I've been watching. Russell Gage goes off and gets like 10 catches for 120. Oh man, he's going to have 120 catches this year. He's on pace, right? Well, I mean, they slowed down, but still, it's nice when you pick up like late round people like that. That can kind of make a difference. And that's infinitely better than fantasy football. It's so much more fun picking a 52-man or 53-man roster.
Can you imagine if you picked Kurt Warner way back when?
Yeah, and like Mostert this year was in the autumn wind draft, but I don't think he was in the SSFA. I think somebody still had him on his roster.
Yeah, they could have. I think he was rated as a kick returner a couple years ago.
Yeah, and so for whatever reason, they kept him. That seems crazy to me, but they probably put him on like IR basically for a year, thinking, maybe this guy gets a chance to play.
Yeah,
but no, he was. So he's goes big in autumn wind, but not even available in SSFA. It's funny how the leagues work that way. But again, I think some of that has to do with when we draft. The SSFA, you get like the hindsight of having 2 seasons for somebody, and you get that extra season to see what somebody. It's just different. I do like those spring leagues though; they are a lot of fun. Now you're in SSFA.
Nope.
Oh, you're not. I just asked you that. You just said that 5 minutes ago. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just in the 2. And I've only got 2 draft leagues, and that's enough to keep me busy.
I'm in too many. I'm going to get rid of SFFDL. I've been in that league for like 4 or 5 years, and it's. I don't want to say it's a chore, especially when Dennis can play like 13 leagues, it seems like, and is able to manage his time with family. I think that's wonderful. But after a while, it just you almost get to the point where you're just like mindlessly clicking after a while, and you're not really paying that kind of attention to this. When you're playing like 4 or 5 different teams, it's hard to concentrate. I'd rather just focus on Semifa.
Yeah, it's hard for me to schedule games around work too.
That's and the nice thing about these leagues here is that you can. Look, I got like a weekend where I can just drill through all 4 of these things. Let's just go, man. Let's sit down and do all 4 of these. But like SFFDL, you got to play 1 a week.
Oh.
And that's hard. Sometimes you're just not around.
Yeah.
And to get on somebody else's schedule at the same time for 16 weeks in a row, that's difficult. And you wind up simming games, and then after a while, you just kind of
lose interest.
You do. I think the draft is more fun sometimes than the games, to be honest with you. And
I know people like that. I think that's why Tom and Dennis are paired up on their S28 team.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. Thomas said that. He's such a draftnik. He loves this stuff. I'll tell you, after the Semifa draft this year, when he did like a recap show, I know this is stupid, but they were doing a live show. It was him and who's the coach of LA? He's a nice guy. Yeah. He's smart too. Very smart. And they were doing their little broadcast, and I thought, what the heck? They're coming up on my Kansas City team when I took over for Lawrence. And I just wanted to hear what they had to say. And I joined up with the broadcast. And
he's Atlanta in Semifa. He's Los Angeles in this league.
Okay, all right. So no, it's like So Tom, you're waiting basically for the other shoe to drop because he has been merciless in some of these drafts. When I picked when I picked Dak Prescott over Goff, the first 50 minutes of his draft review was how stupid a pick that was. Just droning on and on about this. So I thought, all right, let's see what he's going to say, because I got Bush, Savage, and Simmons in the first round, and then Montez Sweat in the second round. I really liked my draft. I was quite proud of it, actually. Just a lot of chips fell exactly the way I wanted them to. But I'm like, wait till Tom tells me how much these picks were terrible. And he wasn't. He was very complimentary and said, this is like, I've watched you draft for 5 seasons, and this is far and away the best draft that you have ever had. You were totally prepared. You must have been just watching videos constantly on these guys and just doing all your homework on it. This is the best prepared you've ever been, and this is by far and away the best draft that you have ever had. And I'm like 51 going on 12 years old. I'm like, that's the coolest thing. That's like your little league parent basically was really proud of the 3 for 4 that you just had that day. I was very proud over silly stuff. What does this stuff matter? I mean, but for whatever reason, I felt really good about that. I don't know. I like to hear when he says people draft well because I know how much work he puts into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad. Well, listen, thanks for joining. Dennis and I will call this one tomorrow night, but I'm glad that you came on, man. It was fun. I like doing just basically shooting the breeze during these things anyway. There's no professionals here. There's only one professional, and that's Tom Cook.
That's right.
If he made it all the way to the end of this broadcast, I hope he heard all the good things I said about him.
We should just put a note, like when you post this, you can stop listening at 1 minute, 1 hour, 5 minutes, 7 seconds, because there's not going to be anything to hear after that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what? I'm going to put a little link in there. Tom, please listen at 142.
There you go.
You'll want to hear 142 to 143 and a half. All right, you'll be very happy with this. Just don't listen to the rest of this nonsense.
Okay, have a good night, Michael.
Hey, nice talking with you, man. Stay safe. You take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, guys. Well, after shooting the breeze, that's our final score. So congratulations to Pittsburgh, who defeats the New York Giants 20-14. So Ron Martin will be playing for the Strat 28 title game, and tomorrow night we will watch LA play Tennessee, and that will be the opposition for the Steelers. So we'll wait a few days before we get that title game in, and be sure to join us tomorrow night for our broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will talk to you soon. God bless everyone. Have a good evening and stay safe out there.